Alright, guys. So this is basically just all the parts in one series. So just enjoy, like, subscribe, the huge.
My soul and was my heart. No one can hear me scream. Maybe it's just a dream. But I am I feel it deep within. It's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become. The darkness has begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel it deep within. It's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I'm trying to lose control. It's something radical. I must confess that I feel like a monster.
Okay, what's up, guys? It's Woody Boy here, and today we're gonna be doing what if Issei was the great grandson of Meliodas. Now I know what you're thinking. Only says I only have one grade on there. Simple, because it's easy. Because it's just easier to do this because I don't have to make the words like add too many more words to overlap the thumbnail. So yeah. Now Issei pretty much has Issei's gonna be a completely different character to how he was in canon. As you can see, as first of all, I'm gonna start off around the time that not the original Lucifer, but Zix Lucifer was just made. So yeah, or just made, Edwin just was just born. Issei was also born. Well, I guess you can't say. Well, yeah. Or yeah, I guess you can say that. He was the son of Tristan's daughter, I guess. The son of Tristan's daughter. So yeah. Issei gonna at least be like at least 500 or so years old by the time JXT starts. So yeah. So he's gonna have all Meliodas' powers. So he's gonna have Elizabeth's powers. Not really, I guess. I don't really want to have Elizabeth's powers. I don't feel like they're needed since he's gonna be having a dragon. Since he's gonna be changing Drake. Not all, yeah. He's gonna be changing Drake a lot. Now, Issei has two sides. There's a light and a dark side. The light side looks like this, which I know who that is, by the way. I know who that is, so don't worry. I know who that is. I'm just really using it if I want to. So I'm gonna have two sides. Now, he's gonna have two sides. He's gonna have two sides, by the way. One is gonna be just like Meliodas, and one is gonna be like more like a pacifist male, by the way, male. And one's gonna be about the pacifist inside will be this side, as in Robin fighting. But his main power he's gonna use is his grandfather. Now I gotta remember, so I gotta look at Robin's family, by the way. And this is home, because yes, it may be like, oh, this character's like solar system or something like that level. But the powers are still are actually canon because you're in the game. Because I have played by people awakening before. I'm falling. Like a change. I'm fun, can't have a change. So yeah. And Robin has a lot of powers, by the way. As you can see, he all uses them in his magic. Look, a lot of powers come from his magical book that he uses. So yeah. Now, growing up, Issei was always around Seraphol and Sir Zinc. Yeah. this was the time before they both became devil kings of their own right. So Seraphol was still a Seraphol C-tree, and Sir Zex was still Sir Zex Spirit. So yes, he's known him for a very long time. So anyway, Issei, he was always a natural prodigy. As when the devil community found out that Issei was the first, was one of the first to have, or he wasn't really the first, but like he was one of the ones to have a dragon at such a young age. Because when you're 19 as a devil, you're young for some reason. But as you know, for us, 19 is like not the average, age for a male. That's interesting. I wonder if they got like a DXT version of this. The one they're calling it on. I think, bruh, when what's the name? The one with Orpheus and Issei combined. Oh yeah, well it's not real, but I'm counting it. But it's really cool. So anyway, now Issei basically, yeah. So basically, Issei was yeah, Issei was a natural prodigy. As he had certain magic that other people couldn't use. He tried to teach Seraphol on Sexus, one of his magical techniques called destruction. Or disaster to be more precise. It makes a purple energy board that's in his face you see. It makes this energy board in his hand. And anything it touches, it destroys. It disappears in a black hole, which is that's pretty broken the way that technique sounds. As neither one of them could learn it. Explaining how Issei has a special ability to just straight up destroy whatever he needs to. Like if he touches you, like if he's serious and he touches you, boom, you're dead. That's all you need to know. So that's a unique ability that's unique to only him. He tried to teach his friends Seraphol and Zix, but it didn't work. I know what you're thinking. How does he have friends that age? This is because Issei was born in the same. If you don't remember, I said Issei was born in the same time as Seraphol and Sir Zix. So we time skip to when they fully grow up. With Issei mastering all of his powers up to assault mode, and he's also if his father was half goddess, half demon, which is Tristan, that means he's also his goddess half, which is why he has white hair. I'm using that, and he mastered all his powers from his goddess side, but not from his demon side. He can only use up to assault mode, so he can use his demon mark. He can release his wrath, which is in this picture. He can release his wrath, and that's pretty much it. Yes, that he can't really use all of his powers yet, but he was the strongest. He was the strongest person of the devil race so far. But he died in a battle against the archangels. I know what you're thinking. Archangels, aren't they good? No, these are the archangels of DxD. Since DxD pretty much allows any mythology, I'm pretty sure that can work. So he died during the battle against them, which all his friends were pretty sad. But this is when he met. Well, this is when he got to talk one last talk with his grandfather, Meliodas. Meliodas would then say, "My grandson, you ain't dying. No, you're just gonna basically just be reincarnated into a human that will most likely become a devil, but you'll gain your powers back from that." Got it, Issei? With him shaking his head. And now we time skip about 200 years later. A baby was reborn, and his name was Issei Hyodo. His mother is the ancestors of his mother's the people on his mother's side was ancestors of Meliodas and demon race, and her great 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 grandfather was Issei. So she decided to name her son Issei. Why not? As Issei would grow up, as the newfound Issei would grow up to be similar to the original self, and happen to relearn as he would start to develop powers, you can say. As his dragon would also return to him. By the way, his dragon would also return to him, but wait till he's old enough to talk to him. So anyway, as Issei would then would now meet a girl with orange-ish hair. They would soon become best friends, but that friend had to leave. So Issei was back being himself, like being by himself. So we time skip years later. Issei is now in his last year of high school, as he's with a group called the Perverted Trio, and he's one of them. As we know, time skip to one day, we're just looking up in the air, like, and like they all ask like why they go here. They ask each other why they like get here, why they go here. Issei will explain he's here to find himself and what he's gonna do with his life. And they're just doing that. But then going to class and stuff like that. As we now time skip to the end of that class, Issei would also have a friend from a lower classman. And another one. One of them was named Kiba Yuto. And they both took the swordsman class there. Which Issei never used an actual blade. I know what you mean. What? Yes, he used a broken blade that's in this picture. He never used a real sword. Like, he never, like, it would shock a lot of people that he never wanted to use an actual sword. But, like, no one bothered him really about it, since who wants to just be a bud? If someone don't want to use it as something, they don't have to use it. We all know that. But anyway, as Issei would then be walking home from school, as he would encounter a long black-haired girl with a different school uniform on that he hasn't seen before. She does ask him would he like to go on a date with her, and maybe they can become a thing. Issei kindly smiling and giving her a smile. So anyway, so this was when Issei would then go on a date with her. They would have a bunch of fun and etc. As when they got to a beautiful fountain, in the end of the lovely day, she would ask him would he die for her, which Issei responds by yes, he would. If that Meliodas honor he has. I've done for someone he cares for, obviously. But yeah, his brothers had nearly died for saving Elizabeth many times. We literally see that in the first episode. Well, he probably would have died since that was pretty weak attack. But like that's what Elizabeth thought. Now, Issa doesn't know it, but he does know how to use a magical counter, and he does have his broken sword is always on his back with him. Now he was a different uniform than everyone else. He was the same outfit that his grandfather once wore, but he doesn't know that's his grandfather. Yet he wears the same outfit as him. As this is when he then this is when he really is. But this is when she's shocked to see a human actually said that. Which Issei then says, I guess I wouldn't be down for you. Now Issei can use physical counter too. He can use like Westerosa's full counter. Yeah, Issei can use both types of full counter. And he can also use revenge counter and vanishing counter. But for now he only knows how to use the normal. He only knows how to use full counter, both style types of full counter. So anyway, but he only does it in like dangerous situations. So this is when the girl then throws the light spear at him, turning into a fallen angel. What do you say then saying, oh shit, and then he look at him and saying, alright, taking his sword, and then saying full counter. And then him then countering it right back at her, of her getting stabbed with her own light spear. If he say that saying, I had a fun time with you, with walking away. Her like, don't walk away from me. Yeah, that's what he said like that. Just continuing walking away from her. So anyway, it was a nice having fun with you. As anyway, as Issa didn't die. As when Issei, this is when Issei went home and then he passed out. Right when he gets here. This is when last he not when he's sleeping, as flashes and his head goes. He sees full counter. He hears he died, and then he also hears he'll die by my commandment in his dream. I dare you tell me a lie. That's what you hear. This is when the person tells a lie. He sees him in darkness. He sees he sees a very strong guy in his dream. And then he wakes up with the demon mark on his forehead. He is breathing heavenly. He's like, what just happened? With his mother and him running in, saying what's wrong, then seeing the demon mark on his forehead. He's like, I don't know. She's like, you alright? He says, yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for coming, Mom. This is when he goes back to sleep, but he wakes up to see his grandfather in front of him, which Meliodas has not died over these 200 years, if you're wondering. Neither is Tristan. Neither one of them are dead. With Meliodas saying, so you finally got your memories back. Who are you? He's like, I am your grandfather, you can say. You're, in this life, you're super great grandfather, but in this life, but in your original life, I was your grandfather. Pretty awesome. He's just like, but you need to regain your powers back and train. And you also need to get your dragon back. The dragon of infinity. The dragon of darkness. You will soon once again meet this dragon. Okay, is it like as easier than goes to sleep, thinking it was just a bunch of malarkey. So if you enjoy this part, comment down below that you liked it, and hashtag 7 Deadly Sins and High School DxD. Next time, will Issei learn how to use his powers? Will Issei ever meet his dragon again? Find out on the next episode of What If Issei was the grandson of Meliodas. See ya, guys. which was the easiest to do, as he mastered two types of the full counter, like of the full counter technique. He has the regular full counter that he can use. He can use both with his hands to deflect magical attacks and his sword. And then he has the physical version of it, which is Esterosis type. But Naruto was able to get that just for plot. Well, not Naruto, sorry, Issei. Issei has that for plot, and he awakened the first demon mark. And he also he awakened his Infinity Gauntlet. That's what we're gonna call it. So yeah. So Naruto, so sorry, not Naruto. So Issei, he gets a visit by Kiba Yuto, which all the girls do fangirl over him. But by the way, I didn't say this, but Issei looked like Issei in canon. So when he returned, he looked much different. He looked like his original self, which his original self was what he looked like in the thumbnail, by the way, in the original thumbnail of the first part. So yeah. So Issei would follow Kiba, and when he gets there, he would see Ria's grandmother, which Ria would say she knows he's a demon, and she asks if somebody like join a barrage, but Issei declines in that as well. But he says he'd rather say himself instead of joining a barrage where he would get a master instead of being himself. And thanks for the offer anyway, Grimmery. And I know your brother, by the way. As he then disappears. As he then says, anyway, I'm going back to class. So now it's the weekend. It's Issei. As he's walking down the street, he then meets a blonde-haired girl. Twist just fell down. Issei, seeing her as an seeing her as a love interest, would decide. As you know how this is how it works. Meliodas bloodline, it works like this. Yeah, it works like this. You have to be a pervert if you're a male. You have to be a pervert, but not around every girl. Just specific ones you're interested in, if you know what I mean. He has, so that's what, if y'all, cause y'all know the Meliodas bloodline by now. So I decided to have it work like that. So he just takes pan. He does still look at her panties, but but she didn't notice him looking at it because I don't know, just for pure plot. But him still helping her up with she asking him directions to the church, but he says he doesn't mind. When he gets there, he has a weird. Nah, he doesn't have that feeling in canon since he is also half goddess. If you forgot. And alright, so let me explain it. He's 50% demon, he's 45% goddess, and then he is 5% human just so he can have a sacred treasure. Since y'all know, the only way you can have a sacred treasure is if you're half human. For some reason, that's how it works in DXP. But anyway, but like his human side really doesn't affect nothing. It honestly just makes him stronger because his hybrid system and like anime usually makes the person stronger and just have more emotion. But anyway, it's Issei would then decide to not walk her all the way to church and saying that's where it is. As he would go, and then he would just go to the gym and just start working out, stuff like that. Which then like he doesn't work for it. It's just more like the devil community. So like he just had I forgot what it called, like just jobs that people know, that demons and devils exist. So he decides to do one of them just for the fun of it. So when he gets there, he already smells something strange. He knows that smell because he just knows that smell, by the way. As when he gets there, he then see, and then when he gets there, he also took a shelter, by the way. As he smells something, as then he steps in something. This is when he sees a red liquid and so he's like, what? And touches it. And then he says, I knew what it was. That was blood. As Free would then say, ah, so the demon boy has come. I'm sorry, what do you say getting on guard, like, who are you? Free would then explain, my name is Freed Sozen, and my job is pretty much to kill any devil or demon bastard and chop them up into 1,000 pieces. What I'm saying, it's a really fun job. With Lisa then being disgusted by him, and then correcting him, actually, I'm also 45% goddess, but it doesn't really make me a demon boy, and then I'm 5% human. And you're really not a challenge. What I'm saying, demon arc. Now, demon arc is basically the demon variant of demon of arc from the goddess clan, since he kind of like made some very like some various brother techniques within that where he's like, boy, within then having cuts everywhere. But you see them taking a broken sword off his back and saying, you're really not a challenge for me, honestly. I just do this for the fun of it, he then says, chuckling. This is when he then knees Free in the gut, with Free then chopping it, by giving him a cut in the back, which he's not really being affected by. He's just saying, nice try, and then try, but all I did is sting a little bit. Why? Because it's meant to kill demons and devils, but he's also 45% goddess, so it wouldn't really damage him as much as you would think it would. As Ozzy will walk in to see what's next going on and explain, as he sees Ozzy, as he then explains his origin. He says, my name is Issei Leonis, which this is when Freak hears that name. He gets scared. Ozzy also gets scared. He was written in the Bible to be a ruthless demon hybrid, you can say. Which Ozzy walking away from that with him explaining, I'm a demon and a goddess. If you don't want to be friends somewhere, it's good. He's just like, that's how it always is. With Ozzy saying, it's fine, jumping in the way, saying, you're my friend, you helped me when I didn't know where something was, so even though you want something, you're a good person, she says. Vivian smiling, just like how Meliodas is in the picture, then saying, chuckling, and saying, alright, Freed Sozen, stand up like a man, and activating his demon mark, and also his demon mark in his goddess eye, and then say, let's go. But this is when I two then jumping ahead, clashing blows, which Issei then snapping his finger as he used physical counter. We like, oh, that hurt it. But then Riz is gang popping up. Riz is like, oh man, Riz, Grimmer, I could have did this on my own. He says, well, I shouldn't have sent you on a mission that could have got you killed, she says. He says, you good. This one he says, mm. He said, this one Ozzy says, goodbye, he said. With, and then disappearing, but she's even saying, damn it, I need to get my power back. I need to train. Know what you mean? Was his power sealed or something? Honestly, not really. More like he never actually unlocked all his true potential, you can say. Because think about it, he never unlocked his real potential he had. So he wouldn't be as strong as you think. If he was only about, like, you can say he's only about, like, in his prime back in the day, he was only about assault mode Meliodas versus the Demon King. So yeah, he never even gained like his Demon King form or nothing like that. If East is insane, if he says Grimmery, I'm gonna need you to take me to meet Sir Zex Lucifer. Why? He's an old friend of mine, and it'd be nice to see him again. This one, she's like, you know my big brother? Jason shaking his head. Mm-hmm. He was an old friend of mine back in the day. This is when Rhea says gladly. This is when he's gonna get her other brother. But this is when Suzek's like, is that you, Issei? Hey, yeah, bro. It's me. He's like, how are you alive? He says, he explains reincarnation and stuff like that. So, that is right. So what do you need, old friend? He explains, I'm gonna need you to train with me in purgatory. Now there's two types of hell. So there's the hell from DXD, and then there's also the hell from what's the name? Lucifer can open up both. Lucifer, Lex Lucifer can open up both portals. There's which he doesn't own any of the land. But since Issei owns pretty much the land from being the grandson of a demon, so he won't really mind. And he knows Meliodas really won't mind if he used the grounds to train for a bit. And plus he needs that training anyway. And this is when he then trains. This is when Suzette, this is when where it's like, but don't you got to work? This is when he says to fight with an old friend again. And there's no, I can just have to grip your feeling. And my father, he said. So anyway, this is when Suzette and Nisa then enter purgatory. Since they enter purgatory, this is when Issei then says, whoa, it's been a while since I've been here. This is when he then says, this is when Issei then says, let's begin. Now guys, I'm gonna be leaving you off on a cliffhanger, sorry. It's gonna be the fourth part, slash third. So what if Issei was Meliodas' grandson? Now I see you guys pretty like this series pretty much, so why not just continue it? Just do another part. I may just keep posting parts of this one, and then maybe try to finish it today. All right, I'll try my best to finish the series today. Cause honestly, I enjoy doing it too. It's pretty fun. Anyway, so where we left off is Issei and Suzette getting ready to train. Now, what I forgot to mention is Issei before that not he pretty much killed majority of the fallen angels. He pretty much killed all the fallen angels that was there, including Rainier and her gang, basically. So, one is not up here on team. Sorry about that, guys. So my auntie asked me a question. Anyway, so where we left off is anyway. So let's just begin the part, shall we? So, Issei had just begun his training with Suzette. As you know, since it's been a long time since Issei seen Suzette. Suzette has gotten much stronger than he did back in the day. Because as I told you, back in the day, Issei was like the strongest person there. Besides his father and Meliodas, which they're still alive, but you know. But anyway, it's Issei. As now, Issei struggles a lot during his battle with Suzette. It took him about 100 years just to be able to lay a finger on him. Yes, 100 years in purgatory is only like 100 minutes. So I know he's pretty aging pretty fast. I know, but he's not like his physical appearance hasn't changed, but he's aging very fastly. As he still has to get back to youth, he still has to get back to the normalness of purgatory. As Sir also gives him a new outfit, which is Meliodas' second season outfit. That's the outfit he wore in the second season. Oh, Issei's outfit will change depending on what's going on. Right now, I'm skipping it. Everything that happens right now all the time he's spending in purgatory, like events of canon happens. Training to Rhea trains her group. Oh, you know, you joined the garage, by the way. And Issei was gone. You know, just stuff just happened. Like while he's in purgatory with Zix. Now, when he found, now this is when Issei, then one day, challenges Sir Zex again, right? But Issei then has the second stage demon mark. Or I think it's like the third stage, maybe. He awakened his third stage, like a few minutes before that. Which was like, let's say about 7 years before that. This is when he challenges Zex for a rematch. But Zex says, well, let's see what you got, Issei. So Issei then says, sure, Zex. This is when Issei then throws a punch at Zex. Zex dodging, then him down business, and Issei then throws another kick at him. Which is when he lands it. And he's like, it uses like, and it's at yes. This is when he then uses this is when he then shows his Infinity Gauntlet. It shares the same powers as the boosted gear and dividing. And it shares, and then it has different abilities too. I'm explaining in the further parts once he gains Balance Breaker, which is when he gains single abilities in. So, this is when Issei then he uppercuts Zix into the sky with the same punch Meliodas had used against Demon King Villagers. He just uppercutted in the sky and he knocked him back down. He kneed him back down. Not like he elbowed him back down. But this is when Issei then he pulls Lost Bane from that. You know how it is in the picture? How I have it in the picture? How like Lost Bane is like on his back? He then pulls it out. And then this is when he adds Hellblade to it. Yeah, and then saying, alright, here we go. Hellblade, enchantments, he says. He goes to stick, so he says he goes to stab. He tries to do a stabby on Zex. But this is when Zex dodges it, and then he throws a Gunnery Destruction Fireball at it. Fireball, he says. This is when Issei then cuts it in half. It was very weak, by the way. He drew it just to get Issei back some. This is when Issei cuts it in half, then smiles demonically. It's Zex is confused with like Issei's acting strange now. This is when Issei then goes into the darkness. He's pretty much like still have to get used to it. The human, like the 5% human has to get used to his demon side. And here, like he goes into the sealed wrath. And it's like this is when he then this is when he then kicks Zex in the stomach. And then he goes for the he then takes Zex in the stomach. This is when he begins to slice him and dice him. He goes to slicey dicey with his darkness and his hand and sword and gun. And he turns his hand into like a sword. And he goes to dicey the last thing in his hand. And Sir Zex is then knee in the stomach and then in place Issei in the destruction barrier. Like the barrier he used against that one guy in the third season of DXD during the Diodora arc. So anyway, Issei then saying, Zex, you always were very powerful, but you've forgotten something about me. He says, while still in the darkness arc. Yeah. And then punches Rick with a punch. His hair turns silver when he used a goddess power. His Zex forgot about his other half. This is when he says, even appears, and let me show you it's like. He says, you should know I have two personalities. I have my goddess side, and then I have my demon side, which is more like my average in itself. Which is more like my average self. You should know this by now. This is when he then says, lightning destruction. With Issei then going up, and then lightning striking the Zex down, electrocuting him. saying, Fire Arc. This is when he then uses, he combines arc and fire power. He then says, this is when he then makes a, this is when he then makes like a light sword with his powers. And then he then uppercuts him, knees in the stomach, and then says, As you can say, Issei's having a little too much fun. Which he ending up with he having too much fun. He nearly goes assault mode, yes, nearly goes assault mode. With him being not able to control a lot of his power. It's like too much of it yet. Just don't worry, I'm gonna get some events is gonna happen later on to let him be able to control it. But he's insane. With someone helping him with that. This is actually insane. Impressive, Issei. She really used that power as well. Either this is insane. And my life been turning into a galaxy. With lifting up physics. And then seeing her vanish from existence. It's also forgetting about Issei's ability to literally control everything. Well, not really control everything, but control everything. I pretty much destroy whatever he wants. If this is the power I talked about in the first two parts, if you don't remember. He's insane. This is actually insane. Calm down, Issei. If this is when physics then get a message from Greyfear saying, what you do? This one he's like, huh? What is it, Greyfear? This one Greyfear saying, Grace, she lost against the match. She lost the game. The game with Riser. I forgot what it's called. I'm telling you too long. Like the devil pieces on masters. I forgot what that's called. Comment down below what's that called again, guys. This one is like Rios lost it. This is when he then go up a little bit. You see, says Issei. I know you don't wanna. I know you don't really like my little sister, but I'm gonna need your help. Then he's gonna begin to explain Issei that he like how it works and everything, and how he really doesn't want his sister and his sister. He just asks nonsense a lot about it. I just ask nonsense a lot about it. This one is like, this is for you, bro. I'll do it. Even though I don't like this. And he's like, alright, this is when he then gets this is when he then says, Great Fear, he says, send us back. With you know, as like the party was going on, as Physics then just appeared and saying, hello, Zarius. This one's like, oh, hello, your older brother. This is when he then get a kick down the door. And this is when he had another kick. Again, a complete kick, sending the door flying towards Riser. As Riser then ducks. And this is when he then sees a smirking Issei. And then Issei says, it's time to have some fun.
It's hiding in the dark, his teeth are razor sharp. There's no escape for me, it was my soul, it was my heart. No one can hear me scream, maybe it's just a dream. And I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the darkness just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I'm gonna lose control, it's something radical. I must confess that I feel
Riser Phoenix. Had that power really gotten to your head? This is when Riser would then look at Issei. Who the hell are you, Riser? Like, this is when he says, so you've forgotten the greatest warrior. One of the greatest warriors already. Issei said, this is when Riser is like, oh no, it can't be. This is when Issei dashes to his room. says, "Yes, it's me. I thought you died against Yuck." He said, "You really think I would die that easily?" "Of course not, dumbass," he said within saying. "So, I see you're trying to mess with this girl." He's like, you're stuttering. This is when he done kicks. This is when he then says, why don't we have a good old fight to see if you get to have red memory or not? With him smiling demonically, rather than having his confidence back saying, "Alright, you demon," Resident says. Alright, Leonis. This is when they didn't get prepared for the battle. Cause this is when this is when this is when Sergapin said, "Issei, Raja, what would be your gift if one of you win? If one out of the other one?" This is when Raja says, "Banish Issei Leonis from hell to bring back Red Grimmery." Issei says, with with fierce and blushing. This is when they would enter the battle arena. Now, what's the name? Does not know of him. Oh, dang it, I forgot his brother's name. With Raven saying, you mess with the wrong devil, Leonis. With Issei looking at her, smiling, and then laughing a bit, saying, "Yeah, right, little girl. You weren't around when I was in town, when I was the sheriff." He's like, "Begin," you would hear Sir Vixen say, "Bleed right in the gut rather than cough for blood." And then gets kicked in the face. And then gets spun. And not that kicks, and then kicks him in the head. But this is like, ow, right? It's like, why does it hurt so much? Is when you forgot how Issei's not just demon. Would Issei then slamming his head in the ground, and then taking out Lost Fame, and then putting it right back in the scatter, in the holster, with Ryder coughing up blood as he had cuts everywhere. And then he kicks him back, saying, "You're nothing but a bloody mess, right?" With him chuckling. Now, this is when Six was like, he's wondering like, Issei's acting a little off character, you can say. With him then breakdance kick rises right where the sun don't shine. This is when Riser says, "Oh my God, that hurts." This is when he sees him to then throw the hill where he plunged back, flipping away from all the fire, and then picking up his sword, saying, "You're not even worthy to have your blood on my blade," he says, and continues laughing as he activated his demon mark. And then him and cutting straight through Riser, like he goes straight through Riser's stomach, and then he elbows him in the head, with him completely bodying Riser. This Riser says, "I had enough." And this is when he then releases his hellfire, and we actually begins they have Issei struggle with Issei then saying, with Issei then smiling, that as he continues to have his assault against Riser, you can say. If Riser's being able to fight back, but not much. With Issei then kicking up Riser. And then kicking him in the stomach, and then side kicking him, and elbowing him in the stomach, with Riser then saying, "Enough!" With Tim then releasing so much fire and torn blood, with even enough to actually kill Issei. With Issei's insane, I have to let my human emotion go. Because I have to let my human, like, my humanity, basically like his 5% human go. He yells. Everyone's wondering what's going on, what's wrong with him. With Issei basically being in a darkness barrier. Like in a darkness barrier, as he's in a slumber. And then he then with his eyes then turning black, with his demon mark enlarging to the center of his forehead, with him then getting a darkness vest, darkness gauntlets, and darkness pants. No shirt. With him coming out saying, it's great to be back to my old strength. Just kidding. It's like a super suppressed. It's like a slow mo. It's basically it's a slow mo versus Eskimo, you can say. You know, saying, I am Issei Leona's son of Tristan Leona's grandson to the human king. And you think a devil can beat me with him having a little laugh, and you'd be mistaken. With him and everybody go, this is fixing. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Oh no, what's going on? No, this one like feels like you get like a little scared of what's going to happen. This one gets like, you alright? This one says, I'm fine. Tears. With Issei and smiling and saying, but then he's punching Broderick really fast. But then he spins around like a trap devil and then kicks Broderick in the stomach back. So Broderick then like basically it's Eskimo versus Meliodas, you can say. So Broderick then like attacking him. And then Issei then punching him in the stomach, sending him back around like the battlefield. Because everyone's just watching, shocked. As he literally tortures Broderick, you can say. Not really, but like for the battle, like with him stepping his hair, stepping his foot on Broderick's head, then looking at it, and then just having his demonic demon smile. But back to one of the preachers saying, just putting up his hand like a nun, saying, he was at him like kicking Broderick in the face. That this is when he then stabs him with Hellblade. A Hellblade stab, you can say. He's then saying, you give up, Phoenix? With him saying, I give up as he passes on. Issei then deactivating a soul mode. If you thought like he was in rage or something like that, no, Issei's fine. All he did was get like the power that all he did was get in soul mode. He's not really back to his previous strength. He's weaker, he's much weaker than his original strength currently. But he has gained a soul mode back, which will be a real help in the future, you can say. With Issei was probably going to kill Ivan until his little sister jumped in the way, asking Issei not to kill his little brother. With Issei looking at his thing. Alright, fair enough. But if he does anything to hurt Meliodas or her family, I will execute him immediately. Braver than promising that he won't do nothing. With Issei then smiling, saying he better not. With him then diverting back to his base form. With him then saying, putting up his hand, saying, alright, you can bring us back. Rex. Anyway, so this is when Rias then hugs him and thanks him for what's her name, for saving her. He says her simply it's no problem. But this is when he said, well, it is a party, so let's party with, just things happening. And with as the party is now over, this is when I can also suggest to Issei that since he saved her, why don't he take the giant bird thing home with her? Or drive to him or Issei then declining, saying he can fly. But this is when you're just like, then I'm going with you. He's like, okay, alright. So after talk what happened, as Issei will explain, he decided even though in the beginning they weren't really friends. He decides, I can see that you're not not at all as bad as you seem for your memory. So that's why I saved you. Mm. But honestly, I'm not gonna let no one. I don't want you to be with no one you don't want to be with. Honestly, I can lose my leg, my arm, or anything else, or on my eye, just to make sure, just to look out for you. With Ryerson kissing him, smacking the lips, ending off the first season. If you enjoyed this part, see you in the next one. Peace.